there, friendlies. How's up? How is up, my friendlies? Can you all hear me? That is highly important. Can you all hear me? He said while drinking the tea. Tea is a good drink, people. It really is. So, hey there, friendlies. Welcome to the Bevvies, Blades, and Bushcraft livestream, where we talk bevies, we talk blades, and when the spirit moves us, we do, in fact, discuss bushcraft. Excuse me. Tonight, I've got a fairly cool reading for you. It's one I came across from My Side of the Mountain by Jean Craighead George. It's a little later in the book. Page 132, if you have my copy. If you do have this edition, run and get it. Maybe you can read along with me. But before we get on with the show, I would like to do the usual housekeeping. That's the part where I say that if you're watching us time shifted to tomorrow, next week, or next month, or next year, or whatever, thank you for your eyes. Thank you for the comments that some of you drop down below. Warms the cockles of my heart to know that you're participating even after the fact. If at any point tonight you kind of love what's going on, then I invite you to hit that thumbs up. If at any point tonight you really kind of hate what's going on, that's okay. The frowny thumb works just as well. And if you'd like to take a more active role in supporting the channel and keeping the lights on around here and keeping me in cool little bushcrafty gear and in video making, then I invite you to check out the join button down below. Click on that and you will see that there are 2 tiers of membership, and you will see what each tier gets you for your hard-earned folding cash. And now, what has been happening lately in the world of bushcraft and YouTubes and all of that? Just let me take a look and make sure you guys can all hear me. Everything's fine here. I'm just making sure that I'm just checking the side chat to make sure that we're not having any kind of weird sound issues. Looks like we're okay. All right. Fine. Sorry. So the news. First, excuse me. For those of you who read it and those of you who don't, you might want to. Explorer magazine has an article out about 12 outdoor activities for October or for fall. It's not, you hike the Pacific Coast Trail and enjoy the leaves. It's about 12 sort of activities that you can do in your local area, right? So it's everything from like a fall picnic or, a fall hike to, visiting a pumpkin patch. Picking pumpkins or whatever. I like the article because I love that stuff, right? This is my favorite time of year. The part where fall turns, it's just turning into a blaze of color. Everything hasn't fallen to the ground yet. The world hasn't gone gray yet. It's all just beautiful colors, and, you're sitting in a pumpkin patch looking at the pumpkins, maybe buying a few. Maybe you're picking apples. I love fall. My 2 favorite seasons are the shoulder seasons, right? The ones where everything is changing, fall and spring. But fall is really the top, like late September into early to mid October, mid September to mid October. Love them. So, anyways, that's at Explorer magazine. Excuse me. Second, okay, on the 19th of September, a woman in Michigan fell into a trailhead toilet at the Dixon Lake boat launch near Sheboygan and needed rescuing from the bottom of the bog. So what happened? Okay, so she dropped her Apple Watch into the toilet and lost her balance while trying to get it out, and rescue crews hosed her down and checked her out for infection or whatever afterwards, and she's okay. Maybe, maybe fatally embarrassed. I hope. But here's the funny thing. Turns out this isn't the first time someone's dropped an Apple product down a trailhead toilet and ended up falling in after it. Back in 2022, a woman in Washington State fell in while trying to retrieve her iPhone. Luckily, she did retrieve it and called for rescue from the bottom of the yuck. Anyway, so that's enough nope for tonight's news. Third is just it's a cool one, as some of you know and maybe watched. Tonight was the season 5 premiere of the Canoehound Outdoors adventure show. I'm looking forward to checking it out, on the replay, and I'm very interested to see what kind of goodness Dennis has for us in season 5. Links for all these stories are down below the video window, and as always, none of these are sponsored content. So before we do the reading, let's see who's hanging with me tonight. Who we got? Who's here? Oh, so much Chitty chat for me to get through. Okay, Tenenbaum popped in, popping us off at 7. That's a little early. Peanut Trucker too. He's parked and ready. Nice. Hey, Peanut Trucker, Chris, where are you tonight? Excuse me. Man on the street popped in to crop dust us all. That's good. And we got Russell. Yes, I also love following Al's Paris into the chat. And Russell just poured a majestical dram of Johnny Walker Red. Okay. So he's ready, which is good. That's fine. It's terrific. I don't love the red, but whatever. What is it? Whatever floats your boat. Excuse me. Destiny in the house. How's it going? By the way, I would like to point out that Destiny and Chris and Russell and Al all have the channel hero icon next to their names. So they're all beautiful people. Absolute heroes. Saying hi to everyone and thanking me for live streaming. I would not give it up for anything. It does keep my head on straight. Grace in the house. How's it going, Grace? We got David Evans popping in to say hi. As I always say, David is not only a channel hero, he's also a channel mod, so be nice or he will drop the hammer. We got Country Boy Trapped in the City, also a channel hero. Howdy to all you fine people, as well as the not so fine. Sounds good. I'm glad to know that the sound is okay. My throat, on the other hand. Who we got? Everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other. We got Christy Brown. Christy is in the house. Also a channel hero. Check out that beautiful little icon. Then we got Biddo is in the house. How's it going, mister? How are you doing? How's the world down where you live? We got Homie Omi. How are you doing? I believe that we just followed each other on Instagram, didn't we, Homie? Was that you? You sent me some cool pictures of a lot of really cool camping gear. Al does not like Russell's choice of Johnny Walker. I was going to call it Jack Daniels. What? What? I said, what? Just saying, everyone's just sort of saying hi to each other. Oh, there's Canadian in the house, also a channel hero, which is nice. He's telling me that the sound is fabulous. What I like about Jerry is that I made fun of that hard G, soft G thing for so long that I think you're Jerry, but like, because I've done it so often, I don't know what. I'm going to call you Canadian from now on. The skunk will skunk on because it's all I got. I thought you had a nice bottle of a Teelings, man. What happened there? Jess, how long do we have to wait for another blog update? I do not know. You mean like on my actual blog, the WordPress one? I forgot I even had that until just now. David's got 16 lanterns and counting. I want to see a picture of all of them, David. Seeing David's lanterns and who else is it who has lanterns? Is it Marcus? David, who's your lantern enabler? I think all those pictures makes me really want one of those Coleman lanterns. That's the lantern that we used when I was going hunting with my stepfather-in-law. It was always one of those. Made this sound. Good memories. Lord Vader's in the house. Lord Vader, I've been watching the Ahsoka series. I'm enjoying it massively. I think the best Star Wars right now is on TV. I thought that Andor was probably the best Star Wars I have seen, maybe ever. Not sure about that, though. I gotta stop coughing and hacking. You saw a lot of pumpkins today. That's cool. Man, I love the sight of a pumpkin patch. It's part of that fall thing for me. I see a pumpkin patch. Love the orange everywhere. Just love it. I love what Destiny says here to David. It sounds like a Netflix series. 16 less lanterns and counting. Season 1, episode 1. Marcus comes to visit and help. I would make that series. I'd probably have to make it as a YouTube series, though. Everyone's just sort of saying hi. Destiny. Episode 2, Jess breaks the lantern club. So, that never gets old, is that it? Am I the only one who thinks that gets old? Okay, so everyone's reacting to the news, I see. So how late am I? Oh, we got Linda from Lipstick Lodge. We were talking about GoPro losses earlier. Uh-oh. Did somebody lose a GoPro? David dropped his iPhone in the toilet. It's okay. They're water resistant. I don't really want to test that, but I have dropped an iPhone into water before, and it's you would have to get it out pretty damn fast, I think. Episode 3 would hit over 1 million views. I would never want to touch that watch phone again, no matter how many times it was cleaned. Yeah, that's the thing. Like, if my watch or phone goes down one of those latrines, I'm just calling the insurance and saying it disappeared. It's gone. Because, no. Country Boy says, I'd pay thousands to buy a new phone before I dove into a shredder to retrieve one I dropped. Absolutely. Nope. Chris is in Fort Worth, Texas. Okay. Nice. Very nice. I've never been there. I've never been to Texas. I haven't actually been to a whole lot of the States. Like, I've been to sort of the cliche places, right? I've been to LA. I've been to New York a lot because of, family in-laws. I've been to Boston. Vermont. Not to piss off the Americans here, but I think Vermont should be part of us. There's just those are the most Canadian Americans ever. Beautiful little. I've been to Seattle, but there are some places I'd like to see. I'd like to see Wyoming just to see it. Just to sort of see if I can do some bushcraft there or something. Hike with Mike in the house. How are you doing, Mike? How's the weather treating you? You picking up after a big storm, or what's going on this week tonight? I think it's whatever peas on your biscuit. Okay. I do in fact say piss on a biscuit a lot, as you well know. So yeah, I'm willing to wrestle pee in the garbage last night. Okay. Did we commemorate anyone lately up there in Canada? There was an embarrassing fiasco in Parliament recently, but I don't know if we've commemorated anyone. Why are you asking, homie? Speaking of crop dusting, I had cauliflower pasta. It's a windy night. Good to know. So tonight, I was going to make tacos for supper. I was cooking up the ground beef, and I was like, man, this beef doesn't smell good. maybe it's the spices I threw in. So I tasted it and immediately felt like, so I was like, okay, all right. Now here's the thing. Like, I had picked up this week from school, and I was essentially putting supper together, and then I was going to go pick up Camille from basketball practice at her school, come back and feed them, like, because supper would be ready. And then, straight on homework, and we would be, like, in great shape for when Mama came home. And, well, forget about it. I was not feeding my kids. Like, that meat had gone off, Holmes. Like, I almost... So then I picked up Camille. I was like, okay, so here's the problem. I was making supper, and it was going to be ready, and it's bad. So what are we going to do? So we stopped at a pizza place, like at one of those sort of high-end pizza places. It's called Baccaro. Food took forever. And just like... I'm trying to reduce the number of times we eat out. And everyone, even Camille, is saying, Dad, I want to eat healthy for a little while here. She got kind of fast fooded out. But, like, tonight was supposed to go so smooth, and it just didn't. And, like, I feel okay now, but why did I taste the meat? Like, it smelled bad. So even if it had been just like the spices I threw in, it smelled like hell. Would I feed that to my family if it was just like a really terrible spice mix? Like, if it smelled that bad, that sort of skunky and everything? I'm like, why did I taste it? Like, oh, that smells terrible. Why don't I put it in my mouth to make sure? What? It kind of reminds me of, like, if someone steps into an elevator or someone's walking by and they say, oh, I farted. You always go, oh, yeah, man, you sure did. Like, why did you need to confirm that? If someone's, comes by and says, oh, man, I really farted, just leave. Go the other way. Like, we do things like that, though. Oh, that's really hot. Oh, really? Like, don't touch the damn pot. It's really hot. Why do we do that, man? Hammer time. Just taking a look. No, it's because I was like, I made fun of the hard G, soft G thing so much that now it's like, I think he's Jerry. He has to be Jerry. Spelled that way, it's got to be Jerry. But maybe it's Gary. Yeah, okay. All right, homie. That's, yeah. So I'm just trying to tea Tuesday for Linda, wine Wednesday tomorrow. Can't seem to coordinate getting a beer for Tuesdays. Beto says, around here the last few weeks have been a lot of rain and storms. Last morning, hail and rain. Nice. It's the great pumpkin. Yes, absolutely. Beto says, it damaged the tile and wet the entire laundry area. I had to wait for the rain to stop and change the tile. Fortunately, only this last. Oh, that's good at least. Am I almost caught up? No, I'm not. So in that case, tell you what. Instead of trying to catch up, I will do two things. I will pour a beverage and try not to get it all over my keyboard. You know what? It's a wireless keyboard, man. Just put it over there. The beer tonight. This is La Voix Malte. The brewery is La Voix Malte, Brasserie Artisanale. So La Voix Malte, as you can sort of tell from this sort of stars and everything, La Voix Malte is French for the Milky Way. Milky Way artisanal brewery. La Courtisane Brassin Nitro. Courtisane is the name of the beer. I don't know what nitro brewing is. A nitro brew. It's an Irish cream ale. And it's from the Saguenay. Now, I will tell you guys something. My favorite part of this province, well, that I've been to so far, is the Saguenay. Because you know what they got in the Saguenay? Boreal forest. And they're at the part where the the St. Lawrence River turns to salt water, and there's the Fjord du Saguenay, which I guess is the Saguenay Fjord, is super long. It's like 90 kilometers or something, and the bottom half of it is salt water. Stunning around there. Okay, let's see if we can pour this proper like. Now, Irish cream ale, so I'm expecting it to be kind of red. It does look fairly amber. I'm expecting it to have a creamy, sort of malty mouthfeel and taste rather than anything too hoppy. If it is hoppy, that will be a very non-authentic Irish cream ale. It's not authentic Irish. It's from the Saguenay, for God's sakes, but, you know. Oh, it's a mouth-friendly beer. Very nice. I want to show you guys something that I'm not opening tonight. Al sent me a gift. Or, because of the vagaries of the border, Al funded a gift. This is the Johnny Walker, well, no, the John Walker and Sons King George V, which is made to commemorate, I don't know, the way they made, no, to commemorate the brand getting its first royal warrant. And it is made in the fashion that such blended whiskeys were made back then. So King George V, we're talking like the 30s, I guess. I think it's a 700 ml bottle. No, 750, okay. 43% alcohol by volume. I'm looking forward to tasting it, but I'm waiting for a chance to open it up right. I have way too many bottles open right now, and I want to wait on this and sort of open it at a special occasion because it's a nice little gift. I'll probably open it pretty soon, but I don't know. Maybe I'll do a video on it or something. Anyways, I'm very excited to crack that, Al. Thank you muchly and publicly for your generosity. I'm going to do the reading. It's short. And then I have a question of the week for you guys. So, as I said, the reading this week is from the chapter. I just picked up the wrong book. I got a lot of books around here. It's from the chapter entitled "In which I have a good look at winter and find spring in the snow." But it's not from the first page of that. Second page of that chapter, in my edition, it's page 132. So he's in a snowstorm, or the snow is falling at any rate. And he says, to be relaxed, warm, and part of the winter wilderness is an unforgettable experience. I was in excellent condition, not a cold, not a sniffle, not a moment of fatigue. I enjoyed the feeling that I could eat, sleep, and be warm, and outwit the storms that blasted the mountains, and the sub-zero temperatures that numbed them. It snowed on. I plowed through drifts and stamped paths until eventually it occurred to me that I had all the materials to make snowshoes for easier traveling. Here are the snowshoe notes. Quote, I made slats out of ash saplings, whittling them thin enough to bow. I soaked them in water to make them bend more easily, looped the two ends together, and wound them with hide. With my penknife, I made holes an inch apart all around the loop. I strung deer hide crisscross through the loops. I made a loop of hide to hold my toe and straps to tie the shoes on. When I first walked in these shoes, I tripped on my toes and fell, but by the end of the first day I could walk from tree to the gorge in half the time. And then it goes on, I lived close to the weather. It is surprising how you watch it when you live in it. Not a cloud passed unnoticed, not a wind blew untested. I knew the moods of the storms, where they came from, their shapes and colors when the sun shone. The reason I wanted to read the bit about the snowshoe notes is because it made me think of you guys. Have any of you right? Okay, let's start that sentence again. Have any of you guys read through an old Boy Scout manual, like from the 50s, the 30s? Like, and how different what scouting was expected to be was, right? There's a section on how to target shoot, or there's a section on how to snare squirrels or something. There's all these like real outdoor skills in those old guides that there are fewer of these days. And reading through that just sort of reminded me of that, and of how what used to be considered kind of like manly skills. And I shudder whenever someone starts talking about manly and anything, but what we used to think of as manly skills, being shoot, maybe skin a deer, definitely fish, gut a fish, chop wood, like all these things that in our really urban lives we have less opportunity to do. And in the same way, like Tenenbaum lives in Sweden, and at one point you were considered slightly undressed if you did not have like a knife with you, like a Sloyd knife or something. And I have heard that is no longer the case over there. But it's like reading this, I've never made my own snowshoes, right? If I was out there in the woods, I wouldn't know how to make my own snowshoes. I mean, I've watched a lot of Ray Mears and everything, but I wouldn't know how to do my own damn snowshoes. There's no way. I mean, I don't think of myself as less human than these people back in the day who could do all these things. I don't, but because I can do things that they couldn't. We have like things, that they never even dreamed of. Do you know what I'm saying? Like, but I just love reading about those old skills. It makes me kind of wish that I had the opportunity. No, that's not the way of saying it that I want to say it. Like, I try not to feel that we've lost something, but I kind of feel that we've lost something. I mean, we've gained so much as well. And I mean, it's like, in some ways the 30s, well, the 50s, let's say, was kind of a golden age. I mean, I can say that because, white male, but like for stuff like that, there was a time when every kid had a penknife, right? And being able to put together like a toy cedar canoe was just something that kids could do. It's just interesting to me, man. So when I read stuff like that, like I imagine it in my head. I mean, you guys know I went to art school for my whole life, right? So everything is very visual. That's probably why I went to film school, actually. So like, I'm reading this and I'm imagining, in my head, this kid making these snowshoes, boiling the water in over a fire, bending the wood, using a penknife. Maybe he's got an awl on his penknife or something to make the holes. I don't know. It's a romantic vision to me. The light is the flickering light of a campfire, even though, he probably would have done it under the cold light of the winter sun. But I just, I find it evocative. Anyways, that actually, how many of you guys and how many of you people have read My Side of the Mountain, by the way? I know that a bunch of you have, but in fact, I think I've asked that before. When did this book come out? 1959. Yeah, so that's right, sort of in the era that I think about, you know, right at the end of, like, I feel that in some ways, the 50s, right to the early 60s, was kind of the end of that kind of stuff. Like, all the big American axe makers were starting to consolidate and starting to, you know, buy each other. And like, so by the time you get to the 70s, the axes aren't by default really great anymore. Do you know what I'm saying? Once you get to the 80s, forget about it. You know, 90s, and everything's made in the Far East kind of thing. And so I take a sort of romantic view of 1950s outdoors recreation. You know, flannel shirts, blue jeans, good axe, good knife. Yeah, I don't know. I'm just thinking about stuff like that. Actually, it does feed right into my question of the week, though. My question of the week is there a book or a show from your childhood or your young adulthood, whatever, that sparked your interest in the outdoors, or that gave you that sense of adventure, that made you go into the forest or take up an outdoorsy aspect or something? Is there a can you point to a book or a TV show? And that's what sort of started you, you know, it gave you your first real outdoors interest. While I wait for you guys to chitty McChat about that, I will see if I can catch up. Linda says, I wonder if I put pumpkins out while bears rip through them in the night. I don't know. Do bears eat pumpkins? Canadian says, got his ATV running. Apparently mice in the air filter isn't good. Yikes. Probably not. Country Boy says, the pumpkin fields out here in farm country are so orange they almost glow in the dark. I love fall. Halloween and pew-pew out in the bush to fill the freezer. Yeah, me too. I haven't gone hunting in a long time, though. A few peeps dropped GoPros. I told them I was going to don my dry suit and look for them. Nice. Let me know if you find them. David says, make sure to oil your ATV oil filter. Mice won't touch it. That is good to know. Apparently I need to go to Florida. I have some in-laws in Florida. I mean, my in-laws are Haitian, so of course, so I have in-law, you know, Haitians, like the Haitian diaspora is like Montreal, New York, Florida, and then Haiti, right? So every Haitian knows someone in, like, of those four places, drop a Haitian in any one of them and they know someone in all the others. So maybe at some point we'll go down to Florida. My wife would like to take our kids to Disneyland, Disney World, which is the one in Florida land, I think. Chris says, if you've seen a mountain and felt the wind, it's just like Wyoming. Okay, good to know. Grace says I should come visit Kentucky for some bourbon tasting. I would do that. There's a bunch of breweries like in places like Kentucky and Texas that I'd like to visit and buy some juice from. Oh yeah, homie was talking about that thing in Parliament. Oh, what an embarrassment. So embarrassing. I mean, it's politics, but it's just so bad that, like, so those of you who don't know, when President Zelensky came to talk to Parliament, the Speaker invited a Ukrainian World War II vet to come to Parliament, and he was honored. And I don't know how many of you know sort of what was happening between Russia and Ukraine and Germany in the 30s, but it came out that this guy, Like, he was being honored for fighting for Ukraine's independence in the Second World War. He was in a Nazi regiment. And the speaker didn't do his bloody due diligence. And it's like, man, the number of public servants, like in these big offices, like Speaker of the House of Commons, for God's sakes, or like Minister of whatever, like the number of these people in Canada, the US, the UK, I mean, making these weird mistakes that you should just have checked on is embarrassing. I don't see this as a political statement because I'm not singling out any party because they're all doing it now. It's just like, Google someone first, at least. Anyway. David had the worst chicken wings ever. Where was that? Chris had a Big Mac. Yeah, our leaders are far from leadership material. It's across the board, But I mean, let's not get into politics too much. Yeah, here's David reminding us all to keep the politics out. So we'll just keep moving on. There's Whiskey Harbor. Nice to see your name popping up. Hike with Mike says I should go to Florida and do some swamp hiking. I'd like to try that, actually. I do not smell burnt popcorn. Whoa, Christy likes burnt popcorn? No, I don't. I like popped popcorn. Lipstick. I don't keep a lot of alcohol in here. I do live in a tiny house. Yeah, you wouldn't have room for it. I don't have room for it. For all the stupid bottles I have. It's crazy. Yeah, Canterbury likes popcorn slightly burnt as well. What's going on here, guys? What's going on? Russell says mouthfeel is so important these days. I don't know if he's being serious or not. But, I mean, yes. I don't know about these days, but yes, mouthfeel is important. Lipstick Lodge has gone whale watching in the Saguenay. Yep. It's an ideal spot for it. You need to suck the hell out of the can to get every drop like somebody we know. Hey, there's Serge. Serge is in the house. Yes, you did miss the pour, which is probably why I didn't completely blow it. Serge, did you see what I'm having? La voix maltais. La courtisane. Brassin nitro. Ambré. Irish cream ale. Calice. So I'm guessing there isn't a French or Quebecois term for Irish cream ale. These guys are just talking about the bottle that I showed. David says, My Side of the Mountains was one of the first books I ever read. Nice. I came to it really late. Like, really late. It wasn't even, like, on the reading list at school where I went. Oh, Russell says, what I really need is a fire tower. There's a guy on TikTok. I don't spend a lot of time on TikTok, to be straight, because I don't have any time for that kind of stuff. There's a guy who lives in a fire tower. Like, he that's what he does. He watches for fires. And it looks like such a cool life in so many ways. Like, I would love to. You look at the forest for a living. What? You know what I'm saying? Amazing. I would love to live in a fire tower. I would love to live in a fire tower. A solitary life, though. But then again, I mean, you guys know I do love periods of solitude. I don't think you're talking about the same fire tower I am. But, Al says, look, Jess, I read to my grandkids. I don't need you to read to me. Open the damn scotch and snuff, huff, slurp, and burp. So that's one vote against the new format. Is it possible to burp really expensive? It probably is. Yeah, maybe. Man, it's a beauty evening. Nice sleeping weather. Yeah. Yeah, it's funny because this morning, it's the same yesterday too. This morning was cold, but then it got like 20 degrees pretty quick, and it's still pretty. Oh my God! I'm gonna start that whole sentence again. Okay, it's because Canadian dropped a bunch of typos, so I had to say a bunch of typos. Just go with me on this one. Yeah, it was cold this morning, but then it got really beautiful, and it's still really nice out. I would put up a tent if it didn't have to work in the morning. Whiskey Harbor says mine was printed in 1969. Okay. Yeah. So I mean, I know that a bunch of you guys have read this. Oh, there's Carol. How's it going? Carol is a channel hero. Check out that little icon. Peanut Trucker says no book or TV show. It was being in the Boy Scouts. I've always loved the mountains of Montana and left home in '90 to head that way to live, and still haven't made it. Fair enough. Al says to Chris, next time you're in New Hampshire, look me up. Disney World is in Florida. Okay. So Disneyland is at, where is that? California, maybe? So I said, growing up near some wooded areas made me enjoy the forest. Yeah, I didn't get that kind of upbringing. Peanut Trucker says, don't do Disney. You'll be so mad at the end of it and $20,000 poor. That's what I've heard. Country Boy says, I didn't need a book to inspire my love of the outdoors. My grandfather was an amazing outdoorsman, and I idolized him. I'm still trying to be as knowledgeable as he was after 40 years. Yeah, none of that in my family. None. Neither my grandfathers were hunters or outdoorsmen. My dad wasn't. Like, none. None at all. Who we got here? Lineal Heavenland. Hello. How's it going, Lineal? Lineal? How's it going? Welcome to the live stream. I hope you are enjoying what you're hearing, or enjoying the Chitty McChat down the side. We got a little political for a minute and a half there, but we're moving on from it. Linda says, Okefenokee Swamp, love that place. No chasing gators, though. Yeah, I'd like to see it at some point. Destiny says, same. Maternal grandfather was a forest ranger back in Europe. He was a wealth of information and inspiration. I would love to have been a forest ranger. Russell says, Star Wars, which is always a good statement to make around me. I didn't see the kind of beer. That's a good one. Yes. It's very tasty. Like, holy crap level tasty. And it's 4%, so I'm not worried about, pounding it and then getting 3 shoots to the wind. Oh, I'm tired tonight, guys. Chris says, we have fire tower jobs and stuff. It's a long walk down the stairs to poop. Fair enough. Fair enough. Like, maybe I'm romanticizing it, standing at the top of a fire tower and looking out over the forest. No one to bug you. Al says, bière à la crème irlandaise. Yeah, it's weird that it's like, this whole can is mostly in French, right? And it says, Ambré, Irish cream ale, Brassé au Saguenay, bière légère. Light beer. It's 4% alcohol by volume. This is a lot more bilingual than most of the beer cans I get here in Quebec. Oh no, it's got marketing piffle on the side. Shall I read it to you guys, just as a little distraction? Grande séductrice, portant une longue robe rouge. I'm not going to actually read you the French. There's a translation on it. And it reads like it's translated from French, that's for sure. Great seductress in a long red dress with her subtle English perfume. Full-bodied, she will charm you with her soft malt character and creamy collar. What? That's the worst beer description I have ever read. Bitterness of 28 IBU. Served between 6 and 8 degrees. And it goes well with sausages and like poultry. Serge says, I'd just like to build a small tower. I'd be able to see the river over the trees. I shall, tonight, win the lottery and buy a fire tower. I wish it was that simple. Yeah, I think I'm ready to win the lottery this week. Okay, let's do it. And then, like, buying a fire tower and moving there. Spaceballs, a classic choice. I would call it a seminal movie, but then Russell would have an aneurysm. Raspberry Rock says, I don't think there exists a movie that has balls in the title that Al doesn't love. Good to know. So, for Russell, Star Wars was the movie that gave him outdoor interest. And for Al, it was Spaceballs. I didn't mean like outdoors as in beyond the airlock. I meant outdoors as in the forest and the lakes. Destiny says, I have to say, Missing 411 has scared the bejesus out of me with regards to being in the forest. I don't know what that is. Fire Tower romance is the best romance there is. As primitive as there's nothing better in my eyes. You got me going, I don't like Sovkoi? I don't know what that is. Can I'm Missing project is also terrifying. Entering the forest. What are you guys talking about? Is this like a... Oh, Sock Boy. Al says, I'll make a few calls, just check your lottery in the morning. Okay, good to know. Well, who doesn't watch Star Wars and yearn to live a life of adventure on Tatooine? You know what? Look, I loved Star Wars. I was there opening week in 1977. I mean, I was 5, but that movie pinned my ears to the wall. But man, Return of the Jedi, like the scenes on the forest, Moon of Endor, and I was living in British Columbia at the time. Well, for the summers, like I used to go to school here and then hit the road, hit the tracks actually to Vancouver. And I grew up with this absolute adoration and this deep and abiding love for the British Columbian coastline, the forests, the smell of it and everything. And so Endor, I was like, whoa. You know, I loved those scenes. And so I'd run into the forest. I mean, I was a teenager, right? I'd run into the forest and I'd be stomping around like a stormtrooper with a stick in my hands. You know, come get me, Ewok. But man, visually, I thought Return of the Jedi was something else. Absolutely. Disney also read too many indigenous stories about the forest suddenly going quiet. Then terrifying things happen. Lord help me. Well, I used to hunt with a couple of Mohawks, so I got some stories too. But read lots of books about being in the forest, and it was almost a mystical experience. A lot of sort of new agey types get into trouble because they go to commune with the forest and get lost because they're more new agey than skillsy. You know what I'm saying? But Yeah, when I hit the forest for too long, I come out kind of maybe a little animist, so I understand that. Serge says, I think on Tatooine I'd miss the trees. So would I. I do find the desert compelling, though. I've never seen like a real hard ass desert, right? Like the Sahara or anything like that. But I've seen some pocket deserts, southern Alberta, southern BC. Russell says, somewhere along the line you got all tainted, and now you're all about the boreal. It's a magical place, man. There's no other forest that smells that way. I was there too, opening week. All right, Darth. Good to know. Such an event. Such an event. Actually, and the thing about Star Wars is it was the movie that brought back orchestral scores. Like a lot of the movies around then, just before for a while before Star Wars had like rock or jazz scores, stuff like that. Like there wasn't a lot of orchestral scores going on. And then along came Star Wars and brought orchestral scores back into films. Just the Italian band Måneskin, begging they're in Toronto this week. My friend is an entertainment bus driver. Just got up there. Yes, I do know that band. My daughter loves that band. Begging. They have a highly noticeable bass player, shall we say. But yeah, they're a pretty good band. I like about half of their stuff I like. The other half I don't really love. So they're in Toronto this week, eh? They're one of those bands that made it by winning, or at least coming in near the top. I think they won Eurovision one year. My outside light. Oh, there's a wide area. I look for glowing eyes when I turn off the Jenny and let Lacey out. Oh, I see what you're saying. You're looking for animals. Personally, I prefer the innards of a tauntaun. that was a crazy scene. Destiny says the taiga would be a fabulous forest experience, but I have to be with Ray Mears or somebody who knows what they're doing. Yeah. Hey, holy crap! Fox at Outdoors. Look who's here. It's time for a change. How's it going? Were you just at excuse me, were you just at Colin's Tuesday night stream? Russell's asking Al how long it took him to look that it was a tauntaun. Come on, he probably knew that. I knew that. Oh, Google Voice second. All right, never mind. Forget what I said. Lipstick knows two peeps from out west who look for Sasquatches. They believe in them. Well, I mean, whatever floats your boat, right? Toronto's it's like half a day's drive for me. I think, what is it, 5 hours from Montreal to Toronto? It's probably about 5 hours. 7? No, I think it's about 5. Depends on how you drive, of course. I'm looking at my Blue Label, but I'm gonna have green tonight. Oh, you know what I'm gonna have? I'm gonna have the Island Green. I'm trying to sort of. I'm trying to become friendly with the Island Green. It's nowhere near as good as the actual green, but I'm sort of. Some drams make you work for it. This one's making me work for it because I just. Travel retail is never where you get the best whiskey. Very often they're party tricks, and I really do feel that this one is exactly that. So I don't have to open it up for 10 minutes because there's no year on it, so it's probably all 3-year whiskey. David says, Destiny, you for sure want to be in the woods with someone named Ray. Someone was going to say it. No, I'm not opening the king tonight. It's not the right context. I want to video the opening, and no, it's not. Once it's open, I will definitely we will definitely drink the king together. There were two different ones, right? There was the king, and then there was like a special edition king, and I had to order it from Alberta because it was completely out of stock in Quebec and in Ontario. So it came out to like $9.60 or something because of the shipping charge. But yeah, they had this one, and they had the special, whatever's the limited edition one or special edition, but that one was on sale. By which I mean it was like 800 instead of 9 kind of thing. But I figured that, I wanted to try the one that you told me about. Oh, there are 3, but the difference is negligible. Okay, so yeah, that's good to know. Hey, how are the cars going, Al? What are you working on right now? Are you still working on the same car as last time I asked you? Linda says, working on my solar with Ray this weekend. Campfires for sure. Awesome burgers from Creative Meats from Hagar, and another day at the pool in Huntsville. Sounds like you've got a big week ahead of you. Yeah, if you ask me, like, what would be a dream 10 days in the woods, it would be a canoe camping trip with, like, Ray Mears and Ray Goodwin, I think. That'd be amazing. Oh, yeah. You told me about the Ford Fairlane 500. How far along are you on that? Yeah, the island is green, but the island green is good, but it's not as good as the straight green. Al doesn't like the island green. I think it's because there's too much peat in it. Al, you don't like peat, eh? Like, I don't need to buy another bottle of island green, whereas I would absolutely buy another bottle. Well, I did buy another bottle of green. So we're at 21:56. So I shouldn't have just sipped the scotch just yet. Everybody, forget I did that. Just forget it. Out of your mind. Oh, look, tea is a good drink. I will drink tea for the next 4 minutes, and then it will be 10, and time for the 10 o'clock free-for-all. I see that someone is about ready to come on, but I'm going to let him bring himself on. Is peat and smoky the same thing, David asks? They can be, but they're not always. Like, there are certain Canadian whiskeys where the smoke comes from applewood, for instance. There's almost always, like, peat there, but, like, for instance, the Shelter Point oak and smoke and oak, that is smoky from peat, but also they also use applewood. I have had a bottle of that. I don't know if I still do, though. But, like, peaty is one thing, but smoky can be barbecue, barbecue and steak. Oh, I should put my cans on since Russell's around. Hello? Uh-oh. I can't hear anything. Hold on. It might be my problem. Oh, no, okay.
There we go. Yeah, sorry. I can't use my main browser to do StreamYard anymore. It just defaults to the mic being the audio device.
Mm. Yeah, that is weird. Manistry
Anyway, I
says
thought
the...
sorry, I was gonna say I thought I'd get here before Al turns into a pumpkin.
Is that an innocent gun you're cracking?
No, it's not. It's a Budweiser.
Oh.
I've got innocent gun in the cupboard, but
Do you?
read the comment.
Hold on. Yeah. Don't lie, Jess. That shit tastes like sucking on a lump of charcoal. It's not that bad, but I like smoky whiskey, Al. I know you don't, and some people really don't. But I like my gateway whiskey was Lagavulin 16, right? So that's a very peated, very. At that point, I thought it was very peated. Oh, hold on. Chris is out. Good night. Speak to you next weekend. Ah, no, David Evans is out too. Okay, David, have a good sleep. I'll speak to you later. I love it. Darth Vader is like, yep, there's Russell's microphone. Linda saying we're getting snockered at the campfire. That would make a funny live. Yeah. Wow, that's why I'm so excited about this stupidly expensive phone, because now I can live stream from outside. Makes me happy. Wait, what? I know, Jess. Russell told me about your proclivities to smoking poles. What does that mean? What did you tell me?
No idea. I don't know what that means. What does that mean?
Nobody knows. Nobody knows.
Oh, by the way, Destiny, I heard Ray's name brought up earlier.
Yeah.
You know, he was in the military briefly, and briefly? Actually, I'm not sure how long he was in the military. It wasn't that long, but one of his jobs at one point was survival instructor. He used to take the I think it was during the basic training. He'd take them all out in the bush and teach them how to survive.
My stepsister's a survival instructor in the Royal Canadian Air Force. Teaching. She runs a survival camp for air cadets. Cool job. Oh,
yeah, maybe.
Serge's out too. All right, good night. Speak to you soon.
Good night, Serge. Yeah, it was funny. He tells me because he was an officer essentially. Well, I mean, he was an officer, and he like that. In basic training, they, if one of the young guys came up and was like, I'm cold, and Ray would be like, run down there and touch it. He still does that with me these days. If I'm looking cold, he's like, run down there and touch it.
That's weird.
And they'd be like, no, I'm okay. No, run down there and touch it.
Yeah, there's I don't know. There's a real magic to sort of like at a survival course. That's not a bushcraft course. That's like shift hits the fan course. That's like there's no comfort. Like when I was in cadets, I had to do a survival course at the end of which they dump you in the woods for a weekend. But the kids who were at that base for the actual survival camp got dumped in the woods for a week. I was always impressed by those kids.
Well, yeah, Ray, excuse me, Ray said something similar. He said, you take a small group and put them on this island in this river, and without any food or anything, just survive for 2 days.
Mm-hmm.
And they essentially, they wouldn't be able to find any food or anything like that. But the point was just that you're not going to die. It's just a couple of days. You might feel like you are because you're not eating or anything, but.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oh, look who's here. Hey, Skip. Where's everyone going? Did they roll up the carpets in your city at 10 p.m.? Yeah, it's weird, right, Ian? I think I just called you Skip, Ian. Sorry.
Where's Skip?
I don't know where Skip is.
Shawnee.
Oh, yeah, there's Shawnee. Oops. Whoops, sorry.
There's Christy.
Everything's sort of scrolling. But hi, Shawnee. I see you there. And I see your channel hero icon.
And there's Dennis.
There's Dennis. So I guess his show. is over.
I caught a few minutes of it. Dennis looked like it was going pretty good.
Yeah, I mentioned your season 5 premiere in my news segment this evening, Dennis. Excuse me. I'm assuming that his show went brilliantly. Hey, Dennis, I think you had Kevin on tonight, didn't you?
You did, Dennis. Can you mention any upcoming guests you're going to be interviewing?
He says, "Hi all, it was a fun premiere tonight." Yeah, I can
Any
well imagine.
Anyone's? Well, I'm going to say we're going to be excited by all of them, but
Yeah, I was going to say anyone we're going to be excited about. Come on, just reach into the bag, and any name that comes out, it's going to be. And we're talking about a guy who.
Okay. Wait,
Dennis
let's
puts
mention
the
some
work in.
hopefuls. Like Ray Mears, is he going to be out there?
Ramir's just not going to be on, right, Dennis? I would love to. Oh, nice. Adam Schultz next Monday and Wyatt Black from Alone season 10 on October 10th.
I've only seen one season of Alone. Did Wyatt win season 10? I'm assuming he did. That'd be interesting. I think I'd love to hear him talk about the mindset, because I think more than anything you got to have the right mindset to win that show.
I agree. and like
Second place.
in every survival instruction, in every survival camp class, whatever, they always start by saying, listen, if you have the mindset that I'm getting out of here, you're getting out of there. If you have the mindset that, oh my God, I'm going to die, and you've got all the tools, you're still going to probably not do well.
I wonder how much of it is like you start thinking about your family and your pets, and you're alone out there, and it's dark and it's cold, and it's just like, how do I can just, with one phone call, I can end it right now, and I can go home and be with my loved ones and be nice and warm.
Absolutely. Yeah. He said while taking a sip of this second rate.
I could be at home not drinking Al's scotch.
I'm not drinking Al scotch. Al doesn't like this one at all.
No, I know. I'm just saying.
You gotta be saying. My watch is now fully charged.
I gotta be saying, hey, Destiny, I'll be seeing Ray shortly. We've decided to.
Poor Destiny.
We're upgrading the panels on my roof.
Oh, so you're actually gonna do it?
Yeah. I told Ray, because Ray right now his solar business is really busy. There's a new government grant out, so people are jumping on the grid tie system, selling electricity back to the grid. So he just bought like a trailer full of solar panels, kind of thing. I don't know, several hundred. And I said, well, if you can spot me 12, come on out and help me install them.
Okay.
So I'll go from 9 panels that are 240 watts to 12 panels that are 400 watts. It'll be a huge upgrade.
Yeah. Okay. Now, from that, do you have to change any of your other equipment, though?
We only need one additional piece, and I already bought it. Over a year ago, actually. Another charge controller. I think the biggest. I don't know if you want to hear about this solar power. This is not your.
Personally, I do. I mean, if you want to talk about it, later at some point.
Well, so
I just want to say that what Al says is true. If you can compartmentalize, you can win. Destiny says, Russell, there may be a video of Ray installing your new solar panels. In shorts, Destiny? Is that what you want to see?
Yeah, I don't know what he's getting up here. But
Al wants you to and Ray to go down and hook him up with some solar.
I doubt he'd be into that. Well,
Dennis wants to hear.
Depends on how much you pay him.
Right. Dennis wants to hear this too. So give us like the Coles notes.
So in layman terms, it will more than double the size of my system. I go from 2,160 watts to 4,800 watts.
Okay.
And part of Part of the thing is like my charge controllers. So
Yeah.
the charge controller takes the power from the solar panels and charges the batteries.
Mm-hmm.
And the one that's sitting out there on my deck right now makes a ton of noise. When it's hot, the fan comes on and whee. And
Yeah, I remember
really
you saying that to me during your
yeah.
conversation at one point. Yeah.
So for the 12 panels, now I need 2 of those, and I have the second one here in a box. And I'm not going to put them out there on the deck because they'll come on at different times. They'll both be really noisy. So I want to move both of them to the other side of the cabin. This is where it gets complicated.
So you have to rewire.
The inverter's still over there. My batteries are still over there, but we don't put the charge controllers over there. So Ray's like, well, you should move everything over there. And
Yeah.
my load center's over there. That can't move. It's
Why can't that move?
well, it's like the electrical panel in your basement, right?
Oh,
you
yeah.
can't
Okay. Yeah.
like suddenly move it to the other side of the house. That's where all your wiring is goes to, right?
I get
it. It's complicated. If we could do it all in a day, then I don't know. Scott. Okay, that's funny.
Yeah.
Well, we'll get a few flexes in there.
Yeah.
The guy's got calves that are like bigger than my, thighs.
Right.
We'll get some of that in there for you, Destiny. Maybe on the roof. That's where it's all calf work up there.
Yeah, it is. Yeah. So if you can't move the whatever, the electrical box analog, like, can you just move everything around? Like, I'm pointing, but I'm not on camera. I'm like, can you move everything sort of?
You're like this.
Yeah, exactly. So, okay, but like, I mean, to the other side of the house is one thing, but what about just around the corner? Like in front, like behind sort of the wall that you're facing right now.
I want it as far away as possible. It's a huge deal. Like most people don't realize it because I generally don't do any video when the fan is on because it's so freaking noisy. So most people don't realize it. And City Girl loves to sit out in the swing out there, and enjoy the day. And this fan is coming on every couple of minutes.
Yeah, okay. And there isn't like a model of that with like a heat sink instead of a fan?
Well, there is a heat sink in there as well. But let me make a note though, because that's one thing I want to do is contact the company and just be like, what else you got? Have you got something?
Because I'm thinking about, when you're building a PC, there's a fan brand that escapes me right now because I'm too tired and I've had some drinks.
That makes a quiet fan.
Very quiet fans. And is there like, so, I can replace the fan on my, actually I did. I replaced the fan on my CPU, like with this quiet fan. Can you do that? Like, is there that kind of modularity in those controllers? It's not
I
the
have
controller.
no idea.
That's why
I just made the note because I'm going to contact them. But like, what was the difference when you replaced the fan on your CPU? What was the difference? Like in
noticeable. Like, I mean, it still comes on, but instead of like a, whoo, I hear like a, so it's. I can't tell you the decibel difference, but it's a noticeable difference.
Yeah. I think you got to get into those liquid cooled PCs to really.
Yeah, my buddy Robin, he went liquid cooled. Dead silent. Dead silent.
Well, there's got to be a fan somewhere.
Yeah, there is a fan, but it doesn't have to be so big, right?
Or no, it's
I may have absolutely given you the wrong information just there about the size of the fan.
On your PC?
No, on the liquid cooled. I was like, yeah, it doesn't have to be so big, but I don't know if that's right. I just sort of spewed that out, and that might have been complete and utter bull.
I was gonna say like my PC is, I mean, there's a fan on my PC, but it's the video cards. That have, or the video card that has like 2 fans on it that's making probably most of the noise.
Man on the street, Al says Vetru is one of the quietest. Now, is he talking about like inverter fans or PC fans?
I'm sure it's PC fans.
Because I've gone and muddied the waters here.
It's an interesting thing, though. Like you know, to be off grid, like we're living in a cabin in the middle of the bush, and you know, to be on solar, and you might think, oh, it's gonna be nice and quiet out there.
Nope.
Fucking fan.
PC fans. You dorks.
I knew it.
Why you gotta be so rude, Al?
Why do you gotta be like that?
Why you gotta be like that?
Why do you gotta be like that? Hey, just next live stream. I don't know what. Have you thought about next Tuesday? We could do another like you know, remember when we look at cabins and stuff?
Yeah, sold. Okay. I loved that both times we did it.
Okay. Maybe any ideas in chat? Like, I know Destiny and Christy and Al and sorry, as I quickly look through the chat names, a lot of you were here for the last two. Like when we just sat here looked at cabin pictures, and we talked about what we liked about either the layout of the cabin or the property or something was interesting about it. Can you think of anything else other than cabins that we could do the same sort of thing with? And don't just say memes, because we could sit here for hours looking at memes.
Yeah. Here.
Al, I drink. Yeah. Al, look. It's because I have no palate for scotch that I'm drinking cheap scotch.
Here's one of those quiet PC fans I just dropped in the side chat. Noctua. It's like one of the more famous ones. But Al mentioned a good option as well. That might actually be a little more affordable.
Newegg is still around? I can't believe it.
My PC is 94% Newegg. Absolutely.
I'm amazed. I remember buying stuff from Newegg like 15 years ago. I didn't think they were still a thing.
Yep. Al says cars. That's a little outside the scope of the channel, but it is well within the scope of a green room discussion. Shawnee wants to see tiny homes, water homes. You know what?
It's a water home.
I think she means like houseboats and stuff, but you know what I would love to have? You know, if I had the lottery win in my pocket and I could afford to get a house built to my specs, I would love to have part of it underwater with huge windows. Like, not sort of in the murky waters around Montreal, but like somewhere where you could see fish.
They exist, eh?
They do.
That would be really cool.
Ian says raw property. What is raw property?
No, that's an interesting. Well, at least the way I took that is we could go through like realtor.ca and just look at properties for sale and talk about them. And because I've been through this, I mean, I think I've got a lot of insight now into looking at properties and talking about, you know, the good and the bad about them. Yeah, that's actually not a bad idea. That's Ian.
Yeah. Ian, the genius, the web genius. Kristen wants to see the insides this time, not just the outside. You can't always see the insides. That's the problem.
Well, but we did show some insides.
We did find the insides of 2 cabins last. I did any of the work.
2?
Was it 1 or 2?
I can't believe that you would actually remember that there might be 2. Okay, hold on. Let me.
Because there was one that you had a few pictures, and I remember it being gorgeous, but it seemed kind of like not a home. It seemed kind of almost like in a tourist area or something.
Remote cabins.
Country Boy says there's nothing more intriguing than cabins in the woods. Yep, me too. Yes, okay, Shawnee did mean yes, like floating homes, boat homes. Yeah.
There's a bunch of indoor. Well, okay, sorry.
Hey, Big Green Moose is here. He says evil mastermind lair, sharks with freaking lasers. Ian says that Newegg banned him in 2008 because the courier delivered the package to the wrong place and I had my credit card company reverse the charges. No. Hey, look who's here. How's it going, Marcel?
Hey, Marcel.
Ian reminded me of, okay, so I ordered, what the hell did I order? Oh yeah, I ordered this little wireless mic setup from Vistech in Toronto. And I hadn't ordered from Vistech in Toronto in so long that they had my old address. And I just ordered and everything's going to be great. And then I noticed, like, when it hadn't arrived, that it was the wrong address. Oh no, I got a whatever. I don't remember. Yes, it was sitting at the post office or something. I was like, this isn't my post. Oh crap! And so I went to the post office with the right name but the wrong address, and I was just like, please, please work. And it did because the kid behind the counter just saw the name. He didn't even check my address, but it would have been a very expensive mistake if I had not ended up with my delivery at the, like, if the people who lived at my old place just like, oh, this is cool tech, and it would have been completely my fault, like completely my fault.
That's one of the reasons like I like Amazon. You can
Yeah,
they'll accept any reason.
yeah, almost, yeah. So I got a solar panel in the mail today, this week.
So how many is that now?
2. But I think what they're doing is they're sending 2 boxes in the same delivery, and the other box just ain't arriving because Canada for flex delivery or whatever it is. I just don't think that they're set up for receiving 2 boxes. It's like what they have to do is send the other box as a separate delivery.
Okay.
Because I don't know what I'm gonna do with 2 solar panels.
There's something else coming for you too. I think it's a coffee maker. Are you okay with doing a video review of a coffee maker?
I'll do video reviews of anything that shows up.
Okay. That's good.
I would like the power station to show up at one point though, because that would be a cool review.
So for anybody who doesn't know, I get emails daily, and a lot of it's just spam. Somebody bought my email address off a list. You know, from whatever criteria, like outdoors might have been their criteria. I don't know. So I get these spam emails. Hey, hello, we love your YouTube channel. Would you like to review our product? And I've become so jaded about the whole thing. Like a lot of it's crap and a lot of it's just not particular to me. So anything of any use, I'm now giving Jesse's shipping address. All powers. There you go.
You know what? You know what's cool about this? When I went to when I went to stay on your land, I brought an all powers solar panel with me, the small one.
Is that solar panel? Is it like does it have ports on it, like USB ports, so you can use it?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Well, at least it's not useless to you.
No, it's not useless to me. It would be useless for anything that's not like powering a laptop or a phone or whatever, little things.
And you know what's really stupid about that company? The same woman keeps emailing me and saying, "Hello, we're All Powers. Would you like to test our 1500 watt?" And then I get an email, "Hey, would you like to test our 2000 watt?" And I've stopped saying, "Look, you already emailed me. I just keep giving out your address."
Yes, I already have some solar panels, but I would love to test the power station that goes with them. Here's my address.
I tried to get an e-bike sent to you. I think that fell through. And with that drone, I guess that fell through. I don't
know. Country Boy, I don't know because whatever it is, it's supposed to go with these panels.
It's either a 1,000 watt hour or 1,500 watt hour or 2,000. I don't know what's one of those.
The thing is, I want to do a video on them. So anyway,
I thought that would actually be useful for you for power outages and stuff.
Yeah. Shawnee says to Country Boy, "Oops, I would not be okay if I had to live on a boat. I need grounding land near me." I way back in another life when I was young and in tech the first time and making a crap ton of money, my whole plan was that I was going to buy a sailboat and move on to it. That was my plan, man. Then I woke up one morning and didn't recognize who I was and realized that meant I was burnt out. So that was the end of that. Spent a couple of years working at a pub and a Starbucks where I met my wife, and then got back into serious work.
Yeah, I wanted to. We wanted to retire on a boat.
I love boats. I love sailboats specifically. To me, like motorboats are just cars that float. But there's a lot of money that leaves your account on every year for upkeep and stuff. Way more than a car.
You know what? You know what got me after doing a ton of research is like, and when we wanted to sail the open, the oceans, kind of the
Blue water. Yeah.
And, exactly. And what finally changed my mind was that especially YouTube videos, like every boat that's out there, they seem to spend like 90% of their time on maintenance and 10% of their time on either sailing or just enjoying life or whatever.
Yeah.
And I was like, my God, I'm three thumbs when it's no, that's two left thumbs.
Two
left hands,
two left feet, all thumbs,
anyway,
thumbs.
All thumbs. When it comes to maintenance, I am not one of those guys who just naturally can pull apart an engine and like go, oh, here it is. Here's the problem.
Yeah.
Or whatever it is.
Yeah, I get it.
And thank God, because this is my land sailboat.
Yeah, that's your land yacht.
It's much less maintenance.
Yeah. So this is what I wanted to buy.
Oh, show and tell.
Yeah.
Oh, you're not going to show it?
I just put it into. Oh, I should have. Okay. I will present the screen.
Oh, the privilege.
The privilege. Hold on. Those are slides.
Is it a catamaran?
Yeah.
Is it a catamaran?
Hmm.
Oh, wait. Where's the pictures?
Yeah.
There must be pictures, right?
Actually, the pictures are not great. Okay.
Yeah.
So that's the inside. Actually, no, I don't think it was the 37. I think it was the 32 or something. It was a 32 foot or 31. It was shorter than this.
I wouldn't want to go with the 32 footer on the ocean, man. That's really short.
Yeah. You can do it though. You can do it.
You can do it, yeah, of course. On a catamaran, I don't know.
I was thinking of a catamaran mostly because of, hold on a second. For living space more than anything else. Right?
It's the catamaran is more living space, and it's way more stable on the water.
Yeah, a lot.
Of course,
more.
if it turns over in a storm, you're done.
You are absolutely
unlike
done.
a monohull, which will just roll back.
Yeah.
Which is why you want a bigger catamaran.
Yeah.
32 foot.
But look, I was 28. What did I really, really know? You know?
Wow, that was like 4 decades ago.
I'm not that old.
Or something.
It's a good three though. Yeah. Yeah, 3 decades ago. In fact, Allure Marine doesn't even exist anymore.
I had a list of. I found a guy who put out a list of blue water boats, and I went over that, like boat by boat. I looked at all of them.
I look at the French ones. I would buy a French boat. Period. Because they're so heavily subsidized, what you get for your purchase price. French yachts make British yacht makers. I'm trying to translate a thought here.
Pee in a garbage pail.
British yacht makers lose sleep over French yachts because they just can't.
They've been doing that ever since the Napoleonic Wars.
True. Although those yachts had cannons on them. These ones do not.
I remember reading Yeah. Anyway, let's not go down that rabbit hole.
No, that's not. But yeah, what time are we at? We're at 22:27. Okay, we're still good. We're still good. But yeah, I like sailboats. I really, really do. And
Oh, what?
there's a certain element of like part of me would love to live on a monohull, like sort of near Salt Spring Island in BC or something, kind of like Valdi did for a while. I don't know if he still does, but you know, like nice part of the world, living on a boat, dream life.
There's Al still here for some reason. Hey,
That's fine.
Al.
He's always welcome to hang out for
Well,
a Hinkley or nothing.
I'll have to look that up now.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I
doing.
told you about the trip that we took a number of years ago, right?
Yep.
Not that long ago. A sailing trip around in the Caribbean.
Yeah. Okay, now Al. Two things about Hinkleys is that A, they're not French, and B, oh, they do make sailboats though. Okay.
Hinkley sailboats. What? Oh wow.
The only for some reason the name Hinkley had me thinking of like a motorboat, like a Southwester or something like that.
I bet their decks are all teak. As one thing is like no wood, thank you very much. No, I don't want wood. Teak is nice. It probably feels good on your feet, but the maintenance, man.
Yeah. Shawnee says, Tabernacle, narrowboat, straw bale home.
Shawnee says tabernacle.
Yeah, no, Shawnee doesn't say tabernacle. I clicked on it and nothing happened. Yeah, I'm not a big fan of dome homes either, but I love the idea of a straw is what I was saying, but it's not what I meant to say, of a straw bale home. I kind of feel that in a city that is completely humidity, whether it's hot or cold, straw bale is not the way to go. But I'm with you. I love the narrowboat idea, living on a canal in like England or France or something.
The narrowboats are a very interesting idea.
Yeah, very, very interesting. I wonder what it's like to live on one. Like, how bucolic must that be? You know, living on a narrowboat.
Bucolic.
Yeah, like, going down the canals in like, rural, well, the rivers or whatever. I have a rural England, not rural, but like suburban London kind of view of narrowboats. Oh, Shawnee says, I've been in a straw bale home. Not okay with my allergies. Fair enough.
Reeks? I've worked with straw. Worked on a farm a couple of summers.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of straw dust in the air, but a lot of that stuff, I don't know. There's a whole class of cabins and where or homes where straw bale homes fit in there and yurts fit in there and
Yeah.
like
Alternative homes, kind of
shipping container homes or.
Yeah.
And I'm like, man, I am so happy just building a stick home. Or doing, or a log home, what Sean James is doing. Although I'm sure he has his own challenges, but
everyone does. Have you ever seen this stuff?
It's
Come on, focus. Come on, focus.
It's there you go. Oh, the alcohol.
Yeah.
94%. I've never seen that in the liquor stores.
You know, I bought this to make perfume with, but I moved on to other things. I'm not gonna drink it.
You're just gonna show it. Have you seen this before? I'm not gonna drink it.
Yeah, I love it. There's a recipe here for a screwdriver. 18 millilitres d'alcool, 94%, so 3/4 ounce. Jus d'orange à volonté, so however much orange juice you want. Pour it into a large glass. Mix well. Serve with a lot of ice, and decorate with a rondelle d'oignon, d'orange, around a slice of onion. Dude, it's 94%. I'm not. There's no way.
You have to explain what alcohol is.
Well, it's just a neutral spirit. It's a really high octane one, right?
Well, and it has no taste, right?
No, it has no taste. It's essentially vodka, but 94% vodka. Yeah.
Like I had a buddy in university
Yeah.
who got all cool from his father, who worked at a manufacturing plant where they made like toothpaste and mouthwash and stuff like that.
Oh, for the mouthwash? Okay.
So they needed alcohol because there was alcohol in that stuff, and they needed it to be tasteless.
Yeah. But holy hell.
But holy hell, they brought a lot of it home. We had access to so much of that stuff. I don't think they were supposed to take it home, though.
Could you imagine the alcohol poisoning if you got 3 sheets to the wind off of this stuff?
Yep.
Nope. Not my idea of a good time.
Well, wait.
Yeah. So yeah, I like that idea of doing more of those cabins. We should do that like every few months. Do an episode where.
If we started like 10, we could do it like once a month, I think.
Yeah.
Or something else, or look at properties like
something like that. Yeah. I like it. Okay, so now is that a innocent gun?
No, I didn't put any in the fridge. I have some in the cupboard.
I gotta buy some. I gotta take a trip to Thing Tickler, by which I mean Hawkesbury,
Ontario.
Yeah, Hawkesbury, because like where my mother-in-law lives, it's up sort of in the Oka area, so Hawkesbury isn't really that far. So every now and again, I just jump across the border to grab some Ontario goods.
Huh?
I mean, Innocent Gun is not Ontario goods, but it's available in Ontario and not available here in the Quebec.
Yeah, so you can't order it from some website or something?
I could probably buy it from BSW in Alberta, but the shipping is going to kill me twice. Just to make sure it's done right, you know? Like,
Can we ship like alcohol like domestic? Like
you can. I mean, it's a gray area. Like some stores will not, some stores will. I ship whiskey domestic a lot. Not a lot because it's expensive, but I have done it a lot in the past. Hey, Kelly Simmons in the house. Kelly Simmons, by the way, has a channel hero icon next to the name. How's it going?
Son of a bitch.
You're here during the post 10 o'clock free for all segment. Ian says, find me 100 plus acres at a good price north of Thing Tickler. Yeah, I would take those 100 acres at a good price too. Hell, I would take 60 acres. I don't know what's
a good price.
Yeah, that's the thing, right? $10 an acre.
Well, I was looking at some property because I kind of keep an eye on property in the area, and I was looking at property. It was a decent size. I forget how many acres, but it was a decent size, and it was a decent price as well. It was, I want to say $60,000 for maybe 100 acres. I want to say something like that. But it was like kind of like mine. It had no right of way. It had no deeded access. But you come back to, well, it did have water on the property though. You might have gotten away with like water access.
Okay.
If you could, and which is how I got the building permit here, right? Is I could show water access. And
how?
There's water everywhere, man.
I know, but like, but does that count as water access?
Well, no, and my neighbors who are from London, who really have no water access, they just walked in and said, can we get the building permit? We have water access, and the guy and is like, oh yeah, sure, if you have water access, no problem.
Wow. Okay.
but at any rate, like if you can find a way to at least get a hunt camp,
Yeah.
then you turn that 100 acres into a paradise, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
Which is what I've done here, kind of thing.
Yes. Yeah. What would you say is the minimum viable acreage for like an off-grid home?
1 acre.
No, yeah, absolutely. But
Let me
like for someone
qualify
who's
that.
outdoorsy.
Let me qualify that though. See, a lot of people well, I've been asked this many times. Like, how do I find a place? I want to do what you do. I want to have a cabin. I want to explore the wilderness.
Mm-hmm.
Look for a hunt camp that's 1 acre, even half an acre, but they're surrounded by crown land.
Crown land, yeah. You know who did that was Pine Martin. 1 acre
Oh.
of land, but it backs onto crown land. Yeah.
Yeah, so you avoid it for 2 weeks in November, but the rest of the year you have one huge backyard. You can do
Yeah.
what you want.
Yeah. That's a great concept.
Hmm. I mean, if you can't afford like a decent sized property with like real access, which few people can, then
Yeah, that's the thing, right?
yeah.
Yeah, I like it. It's a good concept.
Hmm.
Excuse me. Sorry, folks. I didn't mean to yawn on you.
Is Al still here?
I don't know. Kristen asked if
Clipping your
I'm clipping
nails.
my nails. No. Oh, I
Well,
go clip them.
sometimes he's playing with something, but
Yeah. Yeah, I was playing with something, but I put it down. I put it down. See, now I'm feeling all awkward. I'm shy. So shy. So desperately shy.
I know, fella. I need you to get back out there. Get back out there.
Get back out there. You know what else I need to do? I need to clean this desk. I'm glad
Oh,
you guys can't see this god awful desk.
let's talk about cleaning desks.
Hey, somebody gave me money. I wonder who it is. Oh, there it is. Thank you, Russell from Raspberry Rock.
That fella.
Russell gave me $10 towards my next outdoor trip.
$7, but yeah,
Yeah,
use that well.
$7 exactly.
Buy a. Oh, you know what I haven't done? Where's my axe? Oh, crumbs.
I feel that you're making fun of me when you say that.
When I say what?
Crumbs.
No, not at all. I was watching The World's End.
Okay.
You know the movie?
I believe I do.
Simon Pegg, Nick Frost,
Mm-hmm.
Martin Freeman,
Yep.
Paddy Considine, and I'm not gonna remember the last guy's name. I've seen him, but I've seen him in like a million things. It was the girl though, the woman. That was her thing. Oh, Crumb.
Was it?
Or was it Oh Crumbs? Yeah, Oliver's sister, who's now in the Wheel of Time series. I can't believe that movie's 10 years old too. Oh,
is it?
My golly. Yeah, 2013.
Crazy.
All right. My problem in this area will always be that the dogs come in here and they're so freaking dirty all the time, especially now that we haven't had any rain and the dust just billows when we go down the trail, and
yeah,
so the dust ends up in here.
Okay.
But I need to treat this handle with something.
Boiled linseed oil.
I was gonna lick it for half an hour, but yeah, that sounds good as well.
Boiled linseed oil. Once an hour for a day. Once a day for a week. Once a week for a month. Once a month for a year. And then as needed.
What? Once a what?
Once an hour for a day. But I skip the once an hour for a day. I do it I do it like twice. Like I put it on, let it sit for a good half hour, then wipe off the excess and let it sit for the rest of the hour. Then I do it again, and then I just do it once a day for a week, once a week for a month, once a month for a year, and then as needed. That's the rule of thumb for boiled linseed oil on your axe handle.
I was thinking just once.
Once?
That seems like a lot of work for an axe handle, man. Like, Jesus.
No, it's not that bad.
Once a month for a year?
Yeah. What, you've never done this?
When did I buy this? Like, it's like over a year ago. I haven't even used it.
Long enough ago that you should be oiling that handle, okay? You gotta get on it, man. You just gotta get on it.
Chop, chop.
Choppy, choppy. Excuse me. Yeah, you see, my daughter Camille has asked to do some fall camping, but there's nothing available right now in this province. No, don't. What are you doing?
I was pretending to open the beer that I've already opened. All right. All right, I will refrain from doing that.
Yes, you must refrain. You do not want to damage the axe. You can damage the beer can. That's fine. But do not damage the axe.
I could damage the axe on aluminum beer can?
No. I'm just being... excuse me.
All right. All right.
I'm so tired.
Yesterday I told you to get some rest, didn't I?
I did get rest. It was purely by accident, but I did get rest yesterday. Oh, okay. So, okay, I bought this computer, right? And it came with 3 months free of Apple TV. And I forgot about it. So I lost out on the 3 months. And then just this past week, I bought this, and it also came with 3 months of free Apple TV. So it's like, I'm not forgetting this time. And so last night I started watching the Foundation series. But there's a lot of stuff on Apple TV that I want to watch. So I figure I'll spend the next 3 months watching a crap ton of stuff and then cancel before I have to start paying.
The Foundation series? Like the novels?
Yeah, the Asimov. I'm dying to see it because I was like, how the hell would they film that? So I've decided I'm going to watch it.
The whole series was just nothing but conversation, so it's easy to film. And
it was widely viewed as non-filmable because it's not in any way cinematic. You know?
Well, it's just, as I said, it's just conversations. Yeah. He said it himself in an interview. He's like, "Oh, I didn't know if this would go anywhere because it's just a lot of talking."
Yeah. Off-grid recon in the house. How's it going? How you doing tonight? Whoop. I guess off-grid recon scared Russell off. He's probably just gone to see a man about a hearse. About a horse? Hearse? How does he say that? But yeah, so I started watching the Foundation series last night. I watched the first episode. I have high hopes. And I hope that they did it in a really cool kind of way. Because it was widely viewed as non-filmable. Because, as Russell says, all it is talking and politics. So I will let you guys know what I think once I've watched a few episodes. Once I'm a few episodes in. It's hard for me to get any time to sit in front of the TV. Partly because if I have the time, why am I not making YouTube videos, right? Marcel says Amazon Prime's free TV app is actually pretty good. Free VTV. I don't know anything about free VTV, but I do have Amazon Prime. Get a little trapped by Amazon Prime though, because every now and again you want to watch something and it's, this is an extra charge. Why? Okay, recall is giggling. Excuse me. Loving the fall weather in Oregon. Yeah, absolutely. Fall is such a gorgeous season. I just love it. I just love it. I love where the leaves start changing. The air gets a little cool. All the mosquitoes and black flies are gone, baby, gone. That's probably one of the keys, actually.
What a nice time of year it is here.
Yeah, I absolutely believe that.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Lack of bugs, exactly. Off-grid recon knows exactly what we're talking about. Lack of bugs is key. We've been binge watching Little House on the Prairie. I'll tell you something about Little House on the Prairie. It's like it's the original, right? There's no like
Yeah, let's talk about that.
reboot. I seem to have these memories. Like I used to watch Little House on the Prairie, and so maybe my memories are faulty. But I seem to remember that whenever they were sitting around the supper table and talking, it's like, "Can you pass the steak? Can you pass the potatoes? Can you pass the pass?" It's like nobody ate anything. They were just passing stuff all the time.
I remember I was working at a place. This is years ago, pharmaceutical company, and one of the managers there was saying, I don't let my kids watch a lot of TV. I'll let them watch Little House on the Prairie. I'll let them watch this and that. I'm like, Little House on the Prairie dealt with some really, really mature themes. Like, God,
Yeah.
I remember an episode when there was a house fire and the guy lost his wife and his daughter.
Yeah.
There was some serious stuff going on in that show.
I just want to ask Marcel, what are you watching it on? Is that on Amazon Prime?
Is that on Amazon Prime? That's a good question because
Am I about to
I would take
binge?
I would take a shot at that.
Yeah, I would too.
Don't. I found Breaking Bad on one of those streaming services, and I binge watched it. It took me like 2 weeks.
Yeah, I can't start that. It's just there's too much to do there.
Well, I wasn't satisfied with it either. So
No, good to know. Off Grid Recon is in Texas, but they live in Oregon. I don't know if it's a he or a she. Marcel says it's still hot as balls here in Texas. Good to know.
wait. How does she know it's hot as balls?
I am certain that
Doing my Dwayne Johnson.
let's just move right along. Country Boy says best part of fall is no mosquitoes, black flies. That and yeah, I love free VTV. I've never even heard of free VTV.
No biting bugs, as how
No
I'll put it.
biting.
There are still there's very few bugs around, but the ones that are just aren't biting.
Yeah,
I've never heard of free VTV.
me neither. Okay, so Off Grid Recon travels for work. Okay. Haha, I'm a guy. It is hot as balls. Okay, fair enough.
So, Marcel,
That is a particularly quality comment. I like that.
Marcel, you gotta come clean now. In more ways than one.
Oh, yuck. Ah, yuck. Gross.
What?
I don't believe it. Well, nothing.
Some innuendo, or is that your thing? Are you spelling innuendo?
I may be spelling. Well, what? I'm Mr. Innuendo. You're Mr. like single entendre.
Single entendre.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, wow. This is the part of the night where everything goes off the rails, right?
Single entendre.
It's okay. We've only got 9 minutes left.
It's written all over my face. Anyway,
Marcel says, I think this is software. Yeah, we're ready to get back to your lovely fall weather. Send some down here, please. Like, how does Texas just sort of stay hot all year round? I'm guessing it probably does.
Texas.
Aside from that freak storm.
Hey, Christy, are you still here? What's going on in Nevada? I imagine it's the same.
It's 107 degrees.
There's trees losing their leaves right here right now, but there will be like 1 or 2 days here where everything is changing color and everything is losing their leaves, and it'll be blowing around. It'll be one of those windy, blowy days, and I gotta catch it. With every camera I have.
Then, like, the very next day, everything's on the ground and the trees are all gray. Right?
Trees are standing there like,
yeah. I'll just skeletons. Yeah. Yeah. Marcel says, "Don't read too much into that comment, Russell. Just a '90s vibe comment."
She's trying to deflect. That's
Yeah.
that's a lawyer talk right there.
Right. Christy says, "Yes, still here in Arizona, and it was 104 today." What did I say? I said 107, right?
I don't, Christy. So, you know what's interesting is the people in this area of Canada have pools, and they can only really use them for like 2 months, and then they got to be emptied and covered, and then they got to be filled up, and it's a big hassle. And I always thought that unless it's an indoor pool, in which you got to be like rich. But I think it's fascinating that you get to use a pool all year round.
All year round.
Like, who does that? Only the rich and famous.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to closing my pool for the year. Like, I look forward to getting Giardia.
Oh, so like, when was the last time you actually used the pool?
3 weeks ago, 5 weeks ago. Oh, and we pay for a heated pool.
Oh, my bad, Christy. I always get that wrong. I'm sorry. Arizona.
Oh, Russell said Nevada.
I don't know why I keep saying Nevada.
That's the other side of the Oreo. I mean, they're like bump, right?
It's all down there. Somewhere.
Yeah, it's all whatever. It's
if you look on a globe, it's all downhill from here.
Truth, very true.
Yeah, so we could just coast to like Arizona.
Little Fish in the Kitchen says, "Check my community tab post. I posted the temperature inside my car yesterday afternoon after I forgot to put up my sunshade. 107. So is 107 like 42 degrees kind of thing?
Like, when you step inside your car and it's that hot, like, can you crack an egg on your face and be like, you know? And then
always bring the weird. Yeah, always bring the weird, Russell. Always bring the weird, right? Bring the weird. Okay. Always.
As long as you insist.
May the weird be with you. 5 minutes to go. 5 minutes to the end of another cool Tuesday night.
You know you started early, right?
Did I?
Yeah.
I thought I started exactly at 9. No?
No, it's like 3 minutes early. What? Not that you need to end 3 minutes early, but I'm just saying. Look, the time there, and then if you look in this direction, both ways, sideways at once, but opposite, you'll see the time.
So if you go all cross-eyed, and then the opposite of cross-eyed, whatever that would be, I could really handle some cheese right now.
Oh, fucking mound of it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Marcel says that it would be 41.6. That's hot, dude.
Is that with the wind chill or after? After the wind chill.
You don't deal with wind chill when you're talking. You deal with humidex. Wind chill is the cold.
Is that after the wind chill humidex or before the wind chill humidex?
I think Off-Grid Recon is asking you, Russell, if those are Christmas lights.
Mm-hmm. They are. I strung those up there, and since the cabin was built, like from the early days, I strung those up there, and now they're just like night lights, which I really like, because if you got to go pee in the middle of the night or something,
got to get down the stairs without falling on your arse.
Yes, not that easy.
Yep. I think Off-Grid Recon is. Oh, okay, he's applauding her. It was hard to tell with the emoji. I thought maybe it was like waving goodbye.
Let's here. I'll show you. I'll show you.
Nice.
And there's enough light to like move around, and like I know you can't see me, but
No, we can see you. You can see in the glow from your screen
I can see just enough to
to get around.
not fall on my face
Get around.
like I did a couple of weeks ago.
Off-Grid has those in his man cave as well. I gotta build a man cave.
You know what's funny is a lot of them don't work. Like
Really?
maybe 20% of the lights are like permanently off now.
You can buy the bulbs, I think.
It doesn't matter. There's still enough to see.
Fair enough. 22:58.
We need a poll. We need a 2-minute poll. Go.
What are we polling about?
Do you want to see cabins or real estate or just the regular hijinks? Maybe we should put some outside then. Christy, I need to not walk outside when I've had a few drinks. Yeah, Jess. Did you see this? This gash I have on my head?
Well, I saw the pictures with the blood.
Yeah, that was after a Friday night Books Fest. I went outside. I don't remember why, but I tripped and fell and hit my head in 3 different places. This place bled like crazy. Blood all over the place.
I was sure that you were going to have to go to a clinic or something.
I probably should have. That probably would have required stitches. But instead I got blood everywhere. And
there we go. A poll for the next minute and a half. Do you guys want to see us do cabins in the forest, look at parcels of land, or just the regular hijinks?
3 votes. Oh, why did it go from 3 votes to 2 votes to 4 votes?
Yeah, that's weird.
And if you're watching this time lapsed, what is it? Anyway, just put in the comments.
Time shifted. Yeah. Just write in the comments what you'd rather see. What you'd rather
Meaning,
see.
So just in case you're forgetting your things, we looked at.
Just want to say bonsoir, Destiny. On te voit la prochaine fois.
So, like, ding, 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 ding. Hold on.
So we've looked at cabins in the woods a few times.
So, stuff like this, where we were on the side like this, and we kind of went through a whole pile of cabins. This is one actually like that. There's another one.
That one. I love.
Oh, that one's.
Oh, that one's something else.
That has a very boreal feel to it, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Or we could look at real estate listings, or okay.
For parcels of land, like we're not talking about suburban houses or duplexes or anything.
Exactly. Like if you want to purchase some land and go off grid and build a cabin, let's look at some land kind of thing.
Yeah. We're at 2301, so I'm going to shut down the poll, which is at 50-50 cabins and real estate, up 56 to 44. Okay. So I'm going to, now it's 50-50 again. What the heck?
Wow, 0% is regular hijinks. Oh, you got to give this 5 more minutes. There's only 11 votes. There's 20 people watching.
All right, we're shutting her down at 11:05.
Skip.
Is Skip's here? Hey, there's Skip. Kristen says, cabins in the woods by water. Yeah, that's my shopping list right there, Kristen.
I was like, wow. If we're bringing out the magic wand, let's...
Yeah. If we're winning the lottery. Yeah. Absolutely. Oh, so tired.
It's still 50-50.
Yeah.
So everybody, if you're watching on your TV, you can still pull out your remote control and I don't know what you do with it, but pull out your mobile and use that to vote.
Yeah. Everybody vote.
We should have done this a lot earlier in the evening.
Yeah, I didn't think of it though, because of course not. Of course I didn't
I
think of
didn't either.
it. I was gonna check and see how you do it on like a mobile phone, but
It'll work. Okay, so we're gonna depend on cabins edging out real estate by vote.
one vote. One vote.
Yeah, you're not wrong. I mean, we could do that.
There we go. Whoops. Live chat. I can't find the poll. All right. We're at 2203. Okay, so I'm just gonna leave it open. Off Grid says, interesting. You guys should critique viewers' Instagram pages. That could get awkward, though. It's not a bad idea.
Interesting idea.
Yeah. We would probably have to have people volunteer to have their Instagrams critiqued, though, because I would feel kind of savage if it's just like, yeah, here's someone who wasn't looking for this to happen to them tonight.
Well, that's like there are Instagram pages who are just like, I'm gonna show cabins.
Yeah, but what Off-Grid Recon is saying, show
Bushcraft.
viewers, like, so my subs Instagram pages. I'd feel kind of bad just sort of going after the viewers like that, but I do love the concept of like critiquing Instagram pages. Like
I feel we could just critique random Instagram pages.
Random ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Excuse me.
Lord Vader's on his way to midnight. Lord Vader, how far into your yearly supply of alcohol are you? Did you buy one bottle?
I thought he buys 2 bottles every year.
Is it 2 bottles? I mean, if I had to buy 2 bottles, they would be 2 really big bottles. Here's the live chat only.
Viewers of the live chat only. So like people would say, hey, check out my Instagram page. Here it is. And then we go and take a look. And
no, we can't do that.
I would feel really bad about it.
No, we can't make fun of people who watch. That wouldn't be
But
fun.
you know what? Let's think about a way to do an Instagram like critique once a month or something.
You're not talking about people who are watching, right? You're talking about just random?
Darth Vader says 3/4 of the second bottle is left.
So you went through the first bottle and you're...
Excuse me. Okay, we're at 2305 and we're at 50/50 cabins in real estate. So we should do one episode that's cabins, and then one that's real estate, and then one that's critiquing famous outdoor YouTubers' Instagram or whatever. Okay, it's 2306, and I have to actually be at the office tomorrow, so we're gonna shut her down. Thanks for hanging out, Russell. Thanks for hanging out as well. This was I feel
good to be with you.
Yeah, it was fun. We got some ideas for future post 10. What should I call the post 10 segment? I've been calling it the post 10 p.m. Free for all, but maybe I should come up with a term for it. For that half of the episode, anyway.
I think free for all is probably a good name for it.
Ian, the web lord, has decided that is our next 2 shows. Not a bad idea. Tim popping in right at the end. So between now and next week, we're out. Good night, everybody. Between now and next week, everybody, please be sane, be healthy, be safe, and be kind to one another.
And be soup.